Blaze here says, I love how it's easy to call Spurs bottlers, but Arsenal fans are calling losing the EPL after 93% on top as phase 3 of the process. I have to, when the phase 3, phase 4 stuff, all I ever think of when I hear phase 3, phase 4 is Marvel.
Oh, Terry, I was about to say that. The only phase 3 and phase 4 I respect is Marvel.
I love it. I love it. We had this debate on Friday's show, and look, of course, every club is always in a process. This summer, Pep will go for a process of buying more players. Everybody's in a process at all times. But there just comes a point where you've got to start judging managers on what they win. Equally, that doesn't mean you sack a manager just because he doesn't win something. You don't sack Klopp this year because he isn't going to win a trophy. You don't just sack Pep next year. I mean, theoretically, City might not win a trophy this year, but they will. But if Pep didn't, let's just say something mad happened that they didn't win a trophy this year, you wouldn't sack Pep. At the same time, you judge it and say bad season. But football fans are so, especially you, Dowd, you are so obsessed with semantics. It's unbelievable.
Pep Guardiola is the only manager that somehow wins a trophy every single season. I haven't since what Fergie days. There hasn't been a manager that's won a trophy every single season.
Did he win a trophy in his first year in England?
No.
Did not. No. All right, excluding that, way that 6 out of 7 seasons won a trophy. That's no other manager can do that. So Arteta's got one FA Cup, one Community Shield, and I think he's 3 domestic trophies away from equaling Jurgen Klopp, because Jurgen Klopp has only got League or Premier League left.
Yeah, but one of them is the Premier League. It's not
I know what you mean. About Klopp's been there for 7 years, and he's only 3 domestic trophies away from Jurgen Klopp.
So if you leave Mikel Arteta
to win the Champions League in there as well.
I'm talking about in the Premier League. I'm just saying domestically. That's what I said domestically. Klopp can go a season without winning a trophy, and then their fan base doesn't question him.
No. Your entire domestic campaign last season was to get into the Champions League. So the Champions League has to count for something when your entire phase 2 of your process was to get in that competition. You can't just write it.
No, but no one had us in the top 4 last season. No one had us in the top 4.
And you didn't make it. So
I know, but it wasn't an expectation where we were supposed to get top 4 last season, and it came to a situation where we started winning a couple of games. Then we started going on a good form. Then obviously we had a couple of injuries. We lost Tomiyasu, we lost Partey, we lost our crucial players, and then obviously we lost Kieran Tierney. So we lost our 3 of our 4 main defenders for the last 5 games, and then we capitulated. That's what's happening this season. We lost Saliba, we lost Tomiyasu, and it's something that we need to figure out as a football team, where we get a couple of main injuries and our team psychology just collapses, and then it's somewhere where we need to increase in our squad depth. And
I said it before, Dawood, and I said it on Twitter, and I'm going to say it again. I'm afraid that Arsenal fans are speaking exactly like how Tottenham fans said and used to talk.
Tottenham have never won a trophy, bro.
Let me just finish. I'm not talking about the history. We're not in a history lesson here. We're not talking about history. But Spurs fans were talking about Pochettino after they challenged for the league and reached the Champions League final exactly the same. And look where their club is at now. The problem is Arsenal, you've been going so long without winning the Premier League and not even really challenging. Even this year, remember, you'll need to win your games to be there and thereabout at the end, because otherwise people will only remember you for the team that made 80-something points. You need to be at the end with City. There, we need to see you there. Otherwise, your club is still going to be one of the clubs that were there one season or something and not challenging and winning titles. Jurgen Klopp, 3 Champions League finals, winning the league from Man City. That's an achievement.
You mean how many years? That's what I mean. Arteta's only been, this is his 3rd season, so
yes,
give him more time.
This is Arteta's second full, is it? No, this is 3rd full season, isn't it? In Jurgen Klopp's 3rd full season, he won the Champions League.
I know, but Jurgen Klopp is an established manager. Arteta needs a little bit longer time
So now we're moving the goalpost again. So
I'm not moving the goalpost.
This is getting really messy now. Sorry, just to interject, but Dawes, right at the start, you confirm what I said. You don't just sack Arteta. This is what the problem with the conversation. Arsenal fans interpret you got to judge him on his trophies as, why should we sack him if he doesn't win? No one said that. But you still judge Arsenal moving forward now, unless you have bad transfer windows, you're judged on what you win and what you challenge for. Same as City, same as Liverpool. You look at like Chelsea right now, and they'll be judged on it to a degree because of how much they've spent, but their new manager is not accountable for anything that's come before. If Poch comes in, Poch gets time to build his team and his squad. This is what I find ironic about it. I see Gooners put more pressure on Ten Hag to win than they do their own manager. And I know why you're doing it, because it's a case of, right, we've got to put the pressure over there so nobody's looking at us. It's called sleight of hand. We've all watched Dynamo the Magician do it on the street. It's the same difference. But let's just all have the same energy. We've won a trophy this year. If we finish in the top 4, if we have a big summer, I don't think we're the finished article yet. And someone actually called me out, and I put this in the group chat the other day. They said, Terry, how can Ten Hag still be in a 2-3 year process, but also you believe he's going to challenge next year? And that's because there's something in life called multi-layered thinking. I think it's going to take 2 or 3 years for us to get to the very best possible team under Ten Hag. But that doesn't mean I don't think we can challenge and be in the title race next year. Those two things can exist in reality at the same time. It's just getting, again, I said earlier, beta banter. It's just, it doesn't always have to be, you had a bad year, sack your manager, you didn't win this trophy, worst season ever, let's throw my toys out. But let's stop defending managers and teams when they've done something bad. Why can't we just be fans of our football club and call out, praise the good things and have a go at the bad things? Why is that so
but the reason why I'm actually defensive with Mikel Arteta is because there's some certain Arsenal, like, not influencer, but like, that have got a high profile that say that we need to get rid of Arteta and bring in a better manager, where that is a very, very big statement. Getting rid of Arteta for a manager that's taken us this level that we haven't been at for 15 years.
Yeah, and I understand that, but why does that stop you? Why does that stop you criticizing the things he does badly and praising the things he does well? Why do you become as hyperbolic as that opinion?
No, because it's very hard to become rational when a certain...
No. You don't have to lose your rational head because somebody else is being irrational. Imagine if the whole world did that. Imagine if I go crazy and in response, everyone else joins in.
No, it's not that. It's that they don't get questioned. When the certain people that say Arteta we need to get rid of Arteta, and rival fans love it when certain of our fan base say we need to get rid of Arteta and that he's not working. We need to bring in someone like Ancelotti or someone that's like Enrique or someone like that.
You also realise that they enjoy just as much laughing at people that are unbalanced on your end of the spectrum as well. You know, like you and Lee Gunner are the exact same people, but you just say one's not supportive and one's supportive, but you do exactly the same thing. You do realize that, right?
No, because I'm not blind following Mikel Arteta. I'm not a blind follower. I know what he's done for this club, and I know how far he's taken us. And I'm talking about Arsenal winning the league. And if you spoke about that last season, it's something that we haven't, like, it was so unexpected. That's why I'm not something that we expected and it just fell off. We've exceeded our expectation. And someone like Lee Gunner saying with these comments where we need to get rid of him, I don't agree with that 1 million. And I don't think majority of Arsenal fan bases agree with that. And he'll say, oh.
And I get that. But again, Lee can be very triggering with the words he uses. But let me ask you a question. If Lee doesn't believe that Arteta is ever going to win you the league, why should he support him?
Oh, because then you're going into, like, you're coming with that mindset from the beginning where you're not even open-minded. Okay.
So to answer the question, if you don't believe in something, why should you be supportive of it?
But he's believing it with no basis. He's believing it with, like, because he didn't like but Lee Gunner does not want to be proven wrong.
If I don't believe something, if I don't believe the Glazers running Man United's a good idea, why should I be forced into supporting them?
No, but you got receipts. You've got past history we can look back on.
So Lee Gunner has said, and I'm not backing him. I'm just being devil's advocate. 2 seasons running, Lee has seen his team collapse at the 11th hour from making top 4 in a title race. Would you not call that a receipt?
No, but then I say to him, bring me an example of who he wants to bring in. Then he says someone like Diego Simeone, where that's like completely away from what we've been doing for the past 3-4 years. And it's like we have to change our full structure. We have to change our style of play. We have to get rid of every single player that we bought, bring in new style of players in.
I agree that going for a Diego Simeone from how you've been playing football would be the wrong move. But I think Luis Enrique would take you to another level. But that doesn't negate the original question. If someone doesn't support or think that Arteta is good enough, why should they sit there and praise him and just toe the party line? What is the benefit to Arsenal for someone to lie about what they think?
It's not about lying. He came with that mindset. He didn't believe in him. Then this season, Arteta proved him wrong. And then he's waited for that. This is my personal opinion. He's waited for Arteta to slip where he said, I told you so. I told you so. Let's get rid of him. Let's bring someone else in. He had that. I've sensed that mindset with him all season where he's waited for Arteta just to trip. And he said, okay, I've told you so. That's why him, I don't want to say more things about him, but yeah, that's all it is. But I don't agree with anything that Lee Gunnar says.
Okay. I mean, for me, you still didn't answer my question as to why somebody should support an idea they don't. Because if Diego Simeone came in, you don't want him. You don't think he's right for the job, right?
No, but it's not right for the job. But it's going to take us. It's going to take us back 2-3 years, and we'll have to be the same cycle.
But this is the mindset I'm talking about. Let's just say your club did that this summer, hypothetically. Would you just suddenly change your tune when he comes in, or would you stand by your original principle that he isn't the right manager to win you things?
If he's proved me wrong, then I'll put my hands up and I say, oh, he's proved me wrong, and he can play with the play. He can coach the players that we already have. But if he comes out with that Conte mindset, these are not my players. I need to get rid of these players. And then
again, I agree. So if somebody out there, forget Lee for a minute, if another Arsenal fan doesn't believe Arteta can win you a league and then he proves them wrong by winning the league, if they still hate on him, you're right. But until Arteta proves them wrong, this is what I say to people. I don't sit in their fence. I think Arteta deserves a lot more respect than he gets. However, I don't like this notion that you should all think the same, or shut up. Fans are allowed to have their opinions and it should be celebrated. There should be challenged. But none of this like you're a crap fan because you don't think the same as me. I just don't believe in that mindset, bro. Like for me, like everyone's... I don't want to be Jurgen Klopp telling people to not have opinions because he disagrees. You know what I mean? Like everyone should is entitled to express themselves. I want to do some of these super chats here. First one says, Arsenal fan here, you don't compare Arteta to Klopp yet. He needs to show a lot more to even be in the conversation. Dowd needs to shut up.
I didn't compare Klopp to Arteta. I just said that I'm just stating the fact of how many trophies Klopp won and how many trophies Arteta's won. I know Klopp's had a way better career. He's a better manager than Arteta. But I was just comparing the trophies that they both won in England.
Luke Skywalker says, big up Harry Maguire. So, yeah, someone did gift. I didn't even see it. Someone gifted 23 memberships to the audience. So, thank you.
His name is Harry Maguire.
His name is Harry Maguire. Imagine if it's the real Harry. All of this, how cheap is that? Do more, Harry. You're on 300 grand a week. Not quite that much. I'll say this. Arsenal is the easiest club to disrespect, and it's because of fans like this. The reason someone can say Arsenal fans think like Spurs fans disrespectful as F is because of fans like you, Dowd.
That's crazy.
I'm not sure if this is calling me out or he's calling him.
No, it's calling Dowd out. I think it's just like I said. You all know this, and the Arsenal fans watching know this. I challenge a lot of the things that Lee Gunnar says, but his standards that he holds for your football club are right. He's absolutely right. He gets some of the stuff's wrong, some of it's right, and I think that's the problem. When you want to shut people up that have opinions you disagree with, is you don't actually listen to what they say. Lee's biggest issue, and I've called him out on this before, is how he says things sometimes. Sometimes he goes a little too far. This year says same people saying that Arsenal bottled the league, brought up how City have caught other teams with this and that X amount of games remaining. So they predicted they will catch us, but not it's bottling logic.
Yeah,
basically,
true.
You predicted City to catch Arsenal. How is it bottling when you said this would happen?
Because
of the manner. Because
you were top of the table for 93% of the season.
No, but he's saying that everyone predicted that Man City will catch.
No, not the thing. But we predicted that you would bottle it. That's a different.
No. Now you're changing the wording now.
But that's
you're changing the wording of it. I see what you're doing.
No,
Angel, that's not true. Nick, did you predicted Arsenal to flop?
I didn't. When they got 8 points clear, I was like,
me too. I'm not Angel. I don't know who you're talking about. When Arsenal got 8 points, I thought it's only going to be Newcastle is the team that they're going to drop points. I thought they're going to win, maybe draw against Liverpool. I thought they're going to win all their games other than Newcastle and Liverpool. I thought they're going to win the league. And there was nobody can tell you the evidence that they see that this Arsenal team will drop. They were absolutely playing brilliant football. There was no signs of them dropping.
When you went 2-0 up against Liverpool, I thought done and dusted. Like at that point, I said, damn, this Arsenal team are actually going to win the league.
They're going to do it, yeah.
And you bought it.
I thought this when they went in that game when they went 2-0 up. I was like, oh wow, can't believe it. Because everything up until that point, my first ever video, I actually watched it back yesterday because people have been calling me out for it. The Arsenal scared video. Everything in those early ones was bang on. Title challengers, become a threat, exponentially better team. But I still had you coming third when I did that video, which is crazy. And when you were 2 up against Liverpool, for oh my God, you're actually going to go on and win the league. The drop off since then, personally, I didn't see it coming. I think a lot of people say, yeah, I did. I think people, again, it was a little bit like, I'm going to say they're going to bottle it and I hope they do. But I don't think anyone expected you to throw it away the way you did.
It's the manner. Because if you went to Liverpool and lost 1-0 or 2-0, you say, all right, they were the better team. And let's say you drew West Ham and then you beat Southampton and lost to City. You know, it just the season happened as it happened. But it's the manner of going 2-0 up in those 2 games consecutively, and then the bottom team Southampton after it's the manner of those defeats more than just the fact.
100%. Debbie here says, if Arsenal loses tomorrow, will the fans riot and say Arteta out?
That's crazy.
Some will. I mean, some will
probably be like 10 people.
Some will cry again.